Welcome to Be Super University. Our topic today is the influence factor within the DISC model. And as a reminder, this is how you influence others to your point of view. And when most people are talking about DISC, their focus is typically on this side, the outgoing side. This is, when you're looking at the model, this is on the high side in most graphs that you'll see. But today we're going to focus as well on the reserve side, which is the opposite side. And you fit somewhere in this continuum. And I want to make sure that you learn and understand as much as you can about yourself. My name is Jake Newman. I'm an expert in behaviors and motivators. And we are going to cover as much as we can within this 10-minute video. We know that DISC, driving forces, and emotional intelligence are only portions of your personality, and we want to make sure that we get as much as we can within this 10-minute period. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you come back tomorrow to learn 10 more minutes about another portion of the DISC behavior. So as we talk about this influence continuum, as a reminder, there is no good or bad when we're talking about where you land within the DISC model. There is only unique. Everybody lands at a different portion, and the portion that you land on is great because it's unique to you. So when we look at outgoing, the characteristics that we're looking for, or that we would see in people, that we would observe in people, are friendly, enthusiastic, optimistic, trusting, and a motivator. These people bring a lot of energy to their environment, to their team, to the people they interact with. And a lot of times they're known as the team cheerleader because they're the hurrah people, because they are energizing the group and helping them push towards the goal. On the other side, we have reserved people, and they are restrained, logical, matter of fact, skeptical, and incisive. And so they are okay by themselves. They might come across as the silent people in the group, but they definitely have an opinion. They are usually analyzing what's going on. They're not necessarily the talkative bunch, and so they're in the background kind of analyzing everything around them in the conversation that's happening because they're focused on the facts. If we were to assign a superpower to both of these sides of this continuum, the outgoing would be the lightning power. They energize and they move quickly, and they're always trying to help people get excited, and so they give that energy to other people as well. On the reserve side, these would be our lie detectors. These are the people who are assessing everything around them. They're not allowing the fluff to kind of cloud their vision. They're seeing right through it, and they are analyzing the data to understand what's truth and what's not truth. Both great assets to have around. So as we talk about this, one thing I want to make sure that you're focusing on is how do you fit into this factor? As we've talked about these characteristics, how do you fit into it? Where do you see yourself? And if you see yourself as not any one of these directly, it could be because you're closer to the midline. When we look at this continuum, anything that's the closer you get to the midline, the more situational these tendencies might be. And you may have, in one of the other three factors here, you may have some more extreme tendencies that show more than what we're talking about today. And that's okay if you're on the situational side. You still have those tendencies, they just might be harder for people to observe. If you're on the extreme side, some of these may be clicking with you really well, and that's exactly who I am. Energetic and exciting, and maybe you have all these hand movements like I do. I am definitely on the outgoing side if you look at my DISC chart up there in the left corner, and I am all over the place. If we were to talk about some limitations of both of these sides, on the outgoing side, short attention to detail, sometimes viewed as kind of insincere because everybody's their friend. They trust everybody, they trust everything, and so sometimes people think that they're kind of fake sometimes. On the other side, on the reserve side, these people could be viewed as being pessimistic or I think a lot of times, sometimes these people are more sarcastic than other people because that's the kind of humor they find. And that's okay as well. What I want you to be thinking about, and now that you've had a little bit of time to maybe decide kind of where you fit into on this factor, is with this information that we've talked about so far, is how is this information going to help raise your level of communication and strengthen those relationships that you're in? Because that's what this is meant to do. The more you know about your behavior, the more you can start to observe in other people, whether it's the same or whether it's opposite of your behavior. So there really, when it comes down to it, there's 3 levels when we're talking about DISC, when we're talking about these different characteristics and where you land within these factors on these videos, is we're looking for 3 things, 3 kind of levels of experience or leveling up. The first one is understanding yourself. The second one is understanding others and being able to observe those behaviors in other people. And the third, the top level, the one that we're all shooting for, is getting to a point where we can begin to adapt ourselves to the people around us. People that are on the reserve side could be very frustrating or annoying to the people on the outgoing side, because on the outgoing side, they're going fast, they're excited, they want everybody else to be excited, and somebody who's reserved might not really show that kind of emotion. And they might ask a lot more questions when the outgoing individual is excited about the information they have and what they're presenting, and then the reserved person is sitting across the table going, I don't know if that's true. And they maybe start to ask questions. That could come across really annoying. On the same note, on the reserved side, if that's you, you may get annoyed by the excitement of that outgoing individual because they're going at a quicker pace than you want to go. They're moving their hands more than you want to be moved. They're doing all these things that are opposite of you. And so whenever we're talking about the opposite, it really is easy to become annoyed or frustrated with those individuals. But we really want to work towards appreciating those individuals. They are the ones that balance you out. They are the ones who are a strength that you want to have in your back pocket, because their strengths are the opposite of your strengths typically. And you want somebody like that. I want somebody who questions what I'm doing to make sure that I'm grounded and that I'm not doing anything crazy and that's going to hurt myself or hurt the company or hurt our team. And so it's always good to have somebody on that opposite side. But we get stuck getting annoyed and frustrated with those people. So one thing to be thinking about how you can work on is how can you work on being more appreciative of these people who are on the opposite side of this continuum than you. Don't forget to click down below and subscribe if this is something that has been helpful for you today. Also share this with a friend or coworker, your team, if you find that this information could be helpful for them as well. Here at Be Super University, we help individuals maximize their potential by understanding their superpowers and being able to be superheroes to those around them. And with companies or organizations, we help them identify gaps and challenges that their company is facing, and we use this information to help fill those gaps, to help find those resolutions, and help work towards greater success, to help work towards higher performance, more effective communication, stronger relationships, better team culture. And this is just a small portion of what could be helpful for you and for them. So please share, please subscribe, and don't forget, care to share and be somebody's hero.